Bongo Design is the parent company of a small group. Its shares are stock market quoted with many shareholders. Only one shareholder, Akosi Boachi, has a holding over 5%. When you read this question, Bongo Design is a what? Is the parent of what? Of a small group. When you are working on IAS 24, the preamble, they will give you the indication which person or company they want you to relate, whether there's a related party transaction between them. So they will give you the fair idea which company they are referencing. When you read this, Bongo Design is what is the reference point in this whole conversation. So if you want to talk about any relationship or related party, it should connect to Bongo Design. So that is how all the related party transaction questions are solved. So at all time, whether it's a company or whether it is a person, you should know it from the beginning, which person or company or institution or whatsoever that they want to associate the related party transaction to. So when you read this Bongo Design, so everything will relate to Bongo Design being a parent company. That is all. And it is a quoted company with shareholders. Only one shareholder, Akwasi Boachi, has a holding over 5%. It means when you look at the total shareholders, Akwasi Boachi is the only shareholder who has more than 5%. It means the others are holding 5%, 4%, 2%, 1%, and so on and so forth. But Akwasi Boachi is a majority shareholder. Let's reading this conversation. So here, Akwasi Boachi holds 20% of the shares and was founder of the company. He still retains a seat on the board, which is made up of 4 executive members, including himself, and 2 non-executive members. So this makes him, you understand, he is a shareholder and he is also, listen very carefully, he is a shareholder and he also holds executive director position. So this makes Akwasi Boachi key management member to Bongo Design. So this is a related part. Let's go to second paragraph. Akwasi Boachi's domestic life partner of 10 years, Abena Lamte. Once you read life partner, it means Akwasi Boachi is marrying Abena Lamte. So there's husband and wife matter. So that makes it a close family member. So there's a related party here. This is close family member. Now, recently set up. So here, you want to say that Abna Lamte recently set up a company called Lushegu Limited in the textile industry with a friend, Akosia Pokua. Abna Lamte and Akosia Pokua each own 50% of the shares of Lushegu, and the decisions are made jointly under a contract with both parties. So clearly, Abena Lamte is a related party to Akwasi Boachi because of Because of close family. Abena Lamte is holding 50% in Lushegu Limited. Akwasi Boachi is also a majority shareholder of Bongo Design. So that should tell you that there are more related party issue here. Okay. Bongo Design has 2 subsidiaries. Zabzugu Fabrics, which is 100% owned. Bongo Design is the mother parent or is a parent company and has 2 subsidiaries. One is Zabzugu Fabrics. So since Zabzugu Fabrics is a subsidiary to Bongo Design, there's a related party here with Zabzugu. Binduri is also 60% owned by Bongo Design. So with this one too, there is a related party because Binduri is also a subsidiary to Bongo Design. So there's a related party. The 40% in Binduri left belongs to Innovative Sesala, which has 2 seats in Binduri Textile of 5-member board. The rest of the 40% belong to somebody else. So that person, Innovative Sesala, has no relationship with Bongo Design. It has no relationship. Bongo Design only has 60% ownership in that company. Innovative Zale has nothing to do with Bongo Design. He is also a private member or person who also has interest in what in Binduri Limited, and he has stake of 40%, and he has no relationship with what with Bongo Design. Binduri is one who has what relationship with what Bongo Design, not Innovative Sesala. Yao Abdullah is the finance director of Zabzugu Fabrics. He is also the person responsible for finance at the top level, at the group level, but is not a member of the group board. So Zabzugu is a subsidiary to Bongo Design. If Zabzugu is a subsidiary to Bongo Design, Zabzugu itself is a related party to Bongo Design. And Yao Abdullah is also a key management person because he's our finance director. Since you are a key management member to Zabzugu, which is also a related party to Bongo Design, that makes Yao Abdullah, who is also a finance director, automatically a key management member and a related party to the same mother company. So that is the nature of the question, and they want you to in accordance with IFRS 24 related party transaction, identify the related parties of the Bongo Design in the above scenario, explaining why it is related. Thank you. What is the name of the company? The name of the company is Bongo. So it's a related party. We want to know the related parties. Bongo Design. We want to know the related party in this transaction. So now when we go back, let us look the first paragraph. Bongo Design is a parent of company. Let us look at whether there's related party. Akwasi Buachi holds 20% in Bongo Design. He has 20%. He is the majority shareholder in Bongo Design. So that one makes him automatic a related party member to Bongo Design, because of his majority shareholding, he holds influence in the company. At the same time, he also holds a position of executive director, and it makes him key management member. So that's how you answer the question. So you come here, paragraph 1, you will say that Akwasi Buachi is a related party to Bongo Design because he is a majority shareholder who owns 20% shares. This gives him a significant influence in Bongo Design. 2 or B, he holds an executive position, which makes him a key management person. Good. We've answered paragraph 1. Let's go to paragraph 2. When you look at paragraph 2, it says that Akwasi Buachi's domestic life partner is Abna Lamte Street. So Abna Lamte is a wife to Akwasi Buachi. And Abna Lamte owns a company called Gushego Limited. And then their Gushego Limited is a company, a company that Akosia Okua and Abna Lamte owns. And they both have 50% each of the company. All right. So how do we answer the second paragraph? So the second paragraph, what you say is that Abna Lamte is a wife to Akwasi Buachi, which is treated as a close family member, and therefore it is a related party. You understand? It makes them a related party. That is first part of that paragraph. So the first sentence, that is what that says. Now let us look into their business interest. Now, in their business interests, I can say that Abena Lamte has what? A business interest in what? In Gushegu Limited. With who? With Akosia, or the name is what? Akosia what? Akosia Pokua. Akosia Pokua. This arrangement, this arrangement is what? Jointly what? Control. Into brackets, IFRS what? 11. Joint venture. Okay, so there's what a related party between these two people. Therefore, there is a what? A related party. Don't forget, when two parties join in a business, there's a related party. So this arrangement jointly control, which is an IFRS 11. Therefore, there's a related party. You see, link it. There is a related party to Bongo. So I'm talking about this one. I'm going to relate it to the Bongo. You know why? You understand? There's a related party because it's a jointly controlled. Therefore, there's a related party because a close family of key management member or key management of what? Key management of what? Of Bongo Design. Okay, so let me read that. So therefore, there is a related party because of what? Because of a close family of key management of what? Of Bongo Design. What this mean here is this. You have Abina Lamte. Abina Lamte owns what? 50% of what? Of Gushegu. And you have what? Akosia Okua, who also what? 50% of what? Of which company? Of Gushegu Limited. Now, they jointly what? Control the business. Control what? Gushegu Limited. So if you want to link it to what? If you want to link it to Bongo Design, you realize that one of the parties of the joint venture, who is what? Abena Lamte, is what? Is a related party to who? To a key management person of who? Of what? Of Bongo Design. So that makes it what? A related party. All right, so that is all that I want to talk about in that paragraph. So let us go to the paragraph 3. What can we see under the paragraph 3? Paragraph 3 is talking about what? Subsidiaries. All right, so let's go there. So you realize that you say that Bongo Design is a parent to both Zabzugu and what? And Binduri. Zabzugu, you can put their percentage in there for emphasis. So this 100% and what? And Binduri is 60% limited. That make them related what? Parties to what? To Bongo Design. All right, so that one too is what is done. So let's go to the fourth paragraph. Fourth paragraph, is what? It's a finance director to Zabzugu, and Zabzugu is already a subsidiary to Bongo Design. So it is what? It's a related party through what? Through the manager. So now you say that Zabzugu Limited is a what? Is a subsidiary to what? To Bongo Design. That makes Zabzugu a related what? Party. I will say, however, Abdullah is what? Is a finance director of what? Of Zabzugu, which is what? A subsidiary to Bongo Design. Since Abdullah is a finance director, he is a what? A key management person. Therefore, he is a what? A related party to Bongo Design, which is a parent company of Zabzugu Limited. Thank you. So that is all that you say or answer to this very question. So this is how we solve a related party question. So you have to link all the paragraph or all the information you find in the paragraph to the entity or the person or the interested person involved. So that is how we solve a related party transaction.